My name is Now, and I am a 38-year-old part-time housewife. I've always looked very young, and nobody has ever been able to guess my age. When I buy alcohol, I always get asked for an ID, and whenever a younger new hire joins our company, they often mistake me for being in the same position. Because most people think I'm younger than them, they also tend to look down on me. This is a story about the biggest incident of my life that my baby face has had to face. By the way, despite still looking like a student, I actually have 4 children. Because there was a pretty big age gap between my 4th youngest child and her siblings, I often didn't speak about my other kids to the moms at her preschool. My youngest little girl is named Hannah, and the catalyst for this entire incident is someone I met on Hannah's first day of preschool. Her name is Ayu. Ayu was apparently someone who held quite a bit of influence at the preschool, and there was always a lot of people around her. There was another woman known as the princess landlord of this area, although she was a woman in her 40s. The woman took full advantage of her authority, and apparently she was dominating the PTAs of the preschool, elementary school, and middle schools in the area. Even at the parks where the town would hold festivals or picnics, this boss mom was using her power to control everything. Ayu was supposedly cousins with this boss mom, and was therefore using that as if it were her own privileges and running around the town like she owned it.
Oh, well, look who it is. It's Hannah's mom. Good morning. A few of us are going to have some tea now. Would you like to join us?
Good morning. Are you sure I can join? Well, then I would love to come with you. She wasn't an unpleasant person, so as moms at the same preschool, I had a light relationship with her. She started planning barbecues and camping picnics and various outings with other families, and we started to become friends outside of the preschool. This continued for a few years, and it came time for our daughters to graduate the preschool. I was starting to realize that this will probably be the last preschool graduation, and I was feeling a little bit sad when I got a message from Ayu.
Hey, this year is going to be our last summer break, isn't it? We should get a few of the families together and go on one last vacation together. It would be a nice memory.
A family holiday! That's a great idea!
Isn't it? We're going to be a big group, so we should look for something ASAP.
That's true. Let me confirm my husband's schedule too. We had 5 families come together overall and started planning a trip for 15 people. We decided to take only Hannah from our family, and we sent our older kids to my in-laws' house that was a little far away while we went on the vacation. We invited them to come with us, but the older kids said they wanted to go see Grandma and Grandpa and sent the 3 of us on our way. The older siblings looked like they were really excited to spend a few days with their grandparents, and everyone was eager for the summer holiday to start as we all began preparing for our trips early on. A few weeks went by, and as the day of our multi-family vacation approached, Ayu said that she wanted to exchange contact information with my husband.
Hey Now, I have a favor to ask you. I want to exchange contact information with your husband, just in case.
Hello, I checked with my husband, and he also feels like it's important for the parents to have each other's contact, so he says it's okay to give you his number.
Oh, really? I'm so glad. There were some things I wanted to ask him about the trip, too. That's a big help, thanks.
No worries at all. If there's anything you need, I'm happy to help, so you can always ask me. The day that we were going to depart for a 15-person trip, Ayu's husband had a work emergency and wasn't going to be joining. In his place, she was talking to my husband, Yota, in a kitty cat voice the whole time. The other moms seemed perplexed by her behavior, but since I wasn't saying anything about it, they were kind enough not to say anything. Being so flirtatious right under my nose. How awful. I glared at both of them with jealousy and disgust, but my husband didn't look my way as he was consumed by the attention from Ayu. As a wife, as a woman, there was nothing more hurtful to see than this. Luckily, the kids were all having fun playing with each other, so I was relieved that they didn't seem to notice or be bothered by that situation. After we all came back from the holiday, not much time passed before Ayu started coming over to hang out at our house on her days off. Ayu, would you mind not coming to our house every single weekend?
Aw, why not?
I wouldn't mind so much if you came while I'm home, but don't you think it's strange to be home alone with my husband?
What? Are you worried? You worry too much, lol.
It's not necessarily that I'm worried, but it certainly doesn't put me in a good mood. I don't think anyone would like this either.
Aw, wait a minute. Are you the jealous type?
Don't you think it's ridiculous to hang out with your friend's husband whenever she's not around? That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, is that what you're saying? Oh, come on. You and I are friends, so stop accusing me of wanting to have an affair or getting involved in your life.
I know you're trying to brush this over by saying we're friends, but there's no reason that a married man and woman should be meeting in private without their partners there. And even the neighbors are getting suspicious, so please cut it out.
You really do worry too much. Why do you care about what other people think?
On top of that, it's not good for the children either. Don't you think it's embarrassing to be so attached to someone that you're not married to?
Well, even if my husband were to do the same thing to me, I wouldn't think so much about it. You're just worrying too much, lol.
But still.
If you're too insistent about it, your husband might start to hate you, you know.
I'm pretty sure you're the one that's been insisting. Perhaps she was ticked off by the fact that I wasn't going to back down, but Ayu raised her voice and threw her next words at me.
If you're going to pry so much, then you know that I don't mind getting the boss mom involved.
Excuse me?
If you're okay with being chased out of this town, then you can go right ahead with doubting our relationship. Suit yourself.
To be honest, I didn't have much interaction with this person known as the boss mom, nor were we well acquainted at all. However, from the rumors that I heard from the other moms, she apparently manages all the real estate in this area, and I had heard stories that she forced out anybody who was causing trouble in the neighborhood. So, if her cousin Ayu tried to get her involved, then I was clearly the one with the disadvantage. My blood was boiling at Ayu, who laughed it off and didn't have an ounce of regret or guilt. At the same time, there was nothing I could say or do if she was going to get me kicked out of this town. Luckily, Ayu was always coming over on the weekends. The older siblings all had their individual lessons or prep school, so as long as I got Hannah out of the house, none of them would have to see their dad all over another woman. We went out to kill some time, and by the time I got home from picking up each child one by one in the car, Ayu was gone. Instead, my husband came out in an oddly good mood, very clearly fresh out of the shower. You were doing something that made you get in the shower? I can't believe this. The two were completely smeared in their crime, but I still didn't have enough evidence to do anything. I decided to bite my tongue and keep a close eye on the situation, but as time went on, Ayu started coming to our house less and less. At the same time, my husband's overtime increased, and he started leaving the house on weekends without saying a word about where he was going. I let them swing about for a while when the other moms started coming to me with good information. At first, I was sad, but I knew that I was right from the start. The more evidence that I was able to gather, the more calm and collected I was able to become. I was happy to have the full support of the other moms, and I started not to be bothered by my husband leaving the house so much. About half a year passed by when I got a call from an old friend.
Hey now, it's been a long time. How are you?
Oh, Ayu, it has been a while, hasn't it? I'm doing fine, and you?
Oh, is that so, lol? The last time I saw you, you looked like you were pretty tired, though.
Oh, is that so?
Could it be because, well, maybe your husband has been coming home late pretty often?
What?
I hit the nail right on the head, didn't I?
I don't think that's it at all, but anyway. I pretended like I was flustered, and I could tell through the phone that Ayu was loving it.
Oh, really, lol? Well, if you haven't noticed, then that's fine.
Is there something that you want to say? I can't read your mind, so if you don't say it clearly, then I don't know.
Oh, well, it's not something you should hear from me, so...
Is that so? Then I don't know why you called me in the first place, but I don't think it's necessary for you to contact me.
Aw, come on, don't be so rude. If it bothers you so much, then why don't you ask your husband?
Well, you're right. I'll ask him when he gets home.
I sure hope he tells you the truth this time, lol. Bye now.
Ayu seemed to be having the time of her life as she laughed and hung up the phone. I wanted to send this woman straight to hell right in that moment, but I knew the two of them had some exciting moments ahead, so I held my tongue for now. As expected, 2 months later, Ayu and my husband began their ridiculous circus.
Heyo, are you free right now?
Hello, Ayu. What's the matter?
I heard your husband is going on a business trip for a week.
Yeah, that's what he said. What about it?
Yeah, about that. He was actually going on vacation with me, lol.
Excuse me?
You didn't even notice, did you? Your husband and I, we've been having an affair this whole time.
Oh. Since when?
Maybe since around the time of that group family trip. But you just didn't notice at all. It honestly makes me laugh.
Is that so? I thought something was suspicious. Since you always seemed so happy about it, I did have my doubts.
Oh, really? How disappointing.
If anything, I'm surprised that you thought I didn't notice. I'm pretty sure even a high school girl would be better at hiding it.
Excuse you, what are you trying to say?
I don't know what could be so fun about stealing somebody else's husband. I guess you just have bad taste.
It's the thrill of it that makes it fun. Well, I guess this is a privilege of being born beautiful. I can snatch men up just like that.
Well, that's very good for you. Anyway, why did you choose this week to go on your vacation together?
Aw, you really want to know?
Well, that's because I wanted to stomp all over your wedding anniversary. Huh, I see. It almost makes me laugh how oblivious she is. That's right. I knew that this power-loving woman would definitely try to do something on my wedding anniversary, and that's why I let them swim about for months.
Sorry, but you know the goal for this vacation was to have a wedding for ourselves and seal our love for one another. My dream finally came true, and we said our vows to each other.
You're both cheating on your partners. What do you mean you sealed your love for one another? You do know that I'm still married to my husband.
Of course I know that. Why do you think I'm contacting you? It's because I want you to hurry up and get a divorce. It took you so long to realize that I have to tell you like this.
That's true, because normally nobody would do such a poorly mannered thing.
Huh? Poorly mannered? That would be you. You're the one getting in our way.
We are the ones that are married as husband and wife, so you are the one that's getting in the way.
We just didn't find each other until it was too late. If you didn't exist, we wouldn't have to hide and have our love in the shadows like this.
Please don't try to make me the villain in this situation. Is your brain made out of dirt fields?
For me, my rich prince has finally come to get me, but there's a witch that's keeping my prince from coming to save me, and so I'm stuck here waiting. But I can't sit still forever.
My goodness, what a thing to say at this age. Is she the dreamer princess in this dreamer's world?
That's why we had a wedding, to prove our decision and commitment to one another.
I see, but when you say wedding, where did you get the money for such a ceremony?
Oh, that? He said he used the savings for that. I didn't know that you were hiding so much money.
Savings? Our family doesn't have that much in savings.
Oh, that's right. I'm pretty sure he said it was coming from savings under your name.
Interesting. So he put his hands on my savings account?
Aw, don't be so mad. You can just save it up again.
I put my phone on speaker mode and went to my banking app to confirm the status of my account. It didn't take long for me to see it. There was $16,000 withdrawn at once. I couldn't believe it. Even then, Ayu didn't take one step back and continued making me out as the bad guy in this situation. As if I wasn't angry enough already, I couldn't believe that he had taken out money of my own personal savings account in order to have a meaningless wedding. I cared less about the fact that my husband was cheating on me, and I was more shocked and angered that he had taken money out of the account that I had worked so hard to save. But I knew that this gave me enough evidence to be able to take to court. There was absolutely no reason for me to have to hold back. The next day, excuse me, but I'm really not as bored as you are, so can you stop calling me so many times?
Aw, what's wrong? Is this the bitterness of a wife left behind? How scary, lol.
Can you hurry up and tell me what you're calling for?
Yesterday, you were saying something like you can't believe this or you can't forgive him. Have you gone crazy because of it?
He used the savings that meant a lot to me without my permission. Of course I'll never forgive him.
Money this, money that. My goodness, do you love money that much? Lol.
Well, I'm not that worried about it since I'll have my husband pay it back in full.
Huh? Those are shared assets between a married couple. So you have no right and no grounds to ask for it back, lol. Didn't you know that?
Of course it's not shared assets. This was all money that I had saved before we ever got married. The fact that you didn't even know that, poor you.
Shut up, you baby-faced loser. By the way, the entire vacation was paid for on your credit card. Isn't that hilarious?
I panicked and opened up the app of my main bank account. It was true that there were multiple withdrawals of random amounts of money. I had a setting that should send me an email anytime I withdraw from this account, but my husband knew the timing that our bills would get automatically withdrawn and gotten it out at the same time. He knew that I was reviewing the accounts at the end of every month, so he probably assumed I wouldn't notice if he took out a little bit at a time. He's stupid, but somehow had the brains for crap like this, and was truly the scum of the earth. You know, it's not acceptable to use someone else's credit card. It's definitely against the law. You do realize that you've both committed a crime.
Your husband is using it as your family, so it doesn't apply, lol.
You really don't know anything, do you?
We've already maxed out the credit card, so we don't mind if you cancel the card now, lol.
So you're telling me that this has all gone according to your plan?
I guess so. Lol, we already had our wedding, so I figured it doesn't matter whether you know or not.
Is that so?
Aw, what's wrong? Are you mad?
No. To be able to max out my credit card in just 1 week, I'm just impressed, that's all.
Why? What's the credit limit?
I'm pretty sure it was $10,000. When I told her the credit limit on my card, Ayu started laughing through her nose. What a disgusting laugh, I thought. But I guess she didn't like my reaction, so she started to lose her temper and lash out at me.
You know, I've been thinking this for a while now, but why are all your reactions so calm and cold? It's seriously so boring.
This is just my personality. I was just forcing myself around you.
Huh? I don't get it. I wanted to see the steam coming from your head as you got angry and upset.
Is that so? Well, that's not the type of person that I am, so I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Ugh, what are you? Huh? Is this the pride of a rich person? Well, too bad for you. That throne of being a rich wife is now going to be mine. Take that.
She seemed satisfied with her last words and finally stopped talking, so I was able to hang up and quickly begin the preparations to sue my husband and Ayu for every penny that I could get out of them. In addition to the affair, using my credit card without my permission and putting their hands on somebody else's savings, she handed over her crimes to me on a silver platter. Thank you very much, lol. 2 days later.
Hey, we're on our way home. Don't worry, I'll bring you some souvenirs, lol.
That really won't be necessary.
No need to be so humble, lol.
Actually, it's probably best for you that you don't come back.
Huh? Lol, what are you saying?
There's no need for me to tell you, so I won't. Well then, take care. Without knowing anything, my husband and Ayu came calling me in their obliviously blissful mood. But I remained calm and cold and hung up as fast as I could so I could get back to dinner with my kids. A few hours later.
Hey, now! We came all the way to your house for you, but the keys aren't working.
Oh, you just got home, huh? Welcome back.
Who cares about that? Tell me why the keys aren't working.
That's because I don't live there anymore.
Huh? What are you saying? Lol, aw, have you lost your mind?
Nope, my children and I have already moved houses. Why do you think I would still be living at the house I lived in with a cheating man?
What? But But that's no reason for you to change the locks. That means your husband can't get in either.
The house has already been sold, so you won't be able to get in.
Huh? What do you mean sold? Isn't this your husband's house that he owns?
How would that be possible? This is a house that I built on land that I inherited from my grandparents.
Huh? How the hell can you do something like that?
Because my husband doesn't earn any money, so I had no choice but to earn for our family, right?
What? What do you mean your husband doesn't earn? Your husband has an annual salary of $120,000, doesn't he?
Of course not. Didn't you know that that's all my income?
What?
I guess my husband was talking about my career as if it was his own in order to impress you. How pathetic.
But he said he was next in line to be a CEO.
That was because he was working at my parents' company, but it looks like he's going to have to find a part-time job somewhere else now. I guess his salary would be, give or take $20,000 if he's lucky.
What? What makes you think I'm going to believe you? Oh, but even if things are tight now, it means that when he becomes CEO, we won't have to worry about our finances, right? Phew, I don't know why I panicked, lol.
No, are you listening at all? He's working at my parents' company. I've already told my parents everything, and they certainly weren't happy about it.
So what if they were mad? It's not like they can make him quit the company because of personal matters, lol. Anybody would know that with a little bit of research.
Nope, it's not just personal matters. My husband signed a prenuptial contract, clearly stating that if we were to get a divorce, then he would be leaving the family company as well.
What? So you're telling me that this man is unemployed?
Ding, 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 correct. Well, this isn't a story that I was particularly proud of, but my husband and I had a shotgun wedding. My parents were never happy about it, but I told them that I would support my husband and my kids, and they allowed the marriage. Not without a prenup, though. I didn't expect him to be this much of a scumbag, though. If anything, I should be thanking you for getting him off my hands.
Why didn't you mention something so important earlier?
Because it seems like you two are really in love with each other. For a long, long time, too. By the way, everyone in the neighborhood knows everything, too.
What is that supposed to mean?
The other moms were the first ones to bring me proof of your affair, a long time ago at that.
Then why didn't you say anything all this time?
There was no need to. I figured that the longer I let you two be, the more evidence that I could gather. Plus, I was busy preparing for the divorce and the move. There was a lot to handle.
Whatever. If he's this worthless, then I'll give him back to you. I had plenty of fun anyway.
Oh, by the way, I heard your husband moved recently also.
Huh? Why would my husband move?
Don't worry, I told your husband everything. Then you can move along with your new love-filled marriage faster too, lol.
Well, why would you do that without telling me? I don't need your useless husband.
Aw, why is that? I thought you two professed your love for each other.
He has no income and he's about to become unemployed, right? There's no need for something so useless.
Oh, so you were just after his money. It looks like you were the one that loves money after all.
That's not true.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. The moms from the elementary school that my older kids go to, they all know about you already too. I know our kids will be entering the elementary school soon too, so I didn't want you to try bashing our family at PTA meetings.
What? What does that even mean?
I had my first baby when I was pretty young, so I have 3 kids above Hannah. I told you, didn't I, that it was a shotgun wedding?
I can't believe this. How can you do such a thing when my child's about to go to school?
You've been prancing about doing as you please up until now, but it's funny how you think you can get away with destroying another mom's household without any consequences.
How dare you! You're going to regret this! I'm going to tell the boss mom everything!
Oh, yes, the boss mom. Don't worry, she knows everything already too.
What?
The company that my family owns, MoniRobo Malls, is the highest grossing company owned by Boss Mom and her family. How do you think they will react if we were to say that we were leaving the property?
How? This isn't possible! It's not fair!
Well, who's the unfair one here?
I'm truly so sorry. I'll admit that I was wrong, so please tell the other moms at the elementary school that it was all a misunderstanding.
That's going to be a no for me. You weren't able to take any responsibility for your actions up until now, so it's about time that you feel the weight of your own actions.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
I hope you live happily ever after with that scumbag ex-husband of mine. Bye now. Thanks to all the evidence that I had accumulated over the last few months, I was able to secure a settlement fee from both my ex-husband and Ayu. Within the savings account were my very first salaries, as well as my inheritance from my grandparents, all from before I had gotten married. I couldn't believe that he had used that precious money on his affair, and on a worthless wedding. I could never forgive him. It's called domestic theft, and even within my family members, it wasn't acceptable to use it without permission. And all of my savings from before we were married were my own personal assets anyway. Apparently, Ayu's husband also sued the both of them, and they were left with no choice but to go into a pretty deep debt. Of course, to make sure that they couldn't get out of the debt by claiming personal bankruptcy, we threw my ex-husband and Ayu to work in the most miserable division of our company. According to our most recent security footage, the two of them are very kindly working hard to pay back that loan as they live in a completely run-down apartment together. Welcome to an endless newlywed hell! Oh, that's right, they were never actually married, lol. Excuse me, lol. After the divorce was finalized and my last child entered elementary school, I bought a new apartment near the school. I got married because I was going to become a mom, but I must say that I am grateful to my ex-husband for giving me these 4 beautiful children. They are all amazing kids, and I'm really proud of every single one of them. I hired some help where I struggle to do everything alone, but I am going to work hard to continue supporting this family.